this time around, I think we will see Hero Focus pushing the Siege Towers a bit quicker. They will probably see, okay, it's the same strat again, and the Blue Halberdiers are capable of doing so. So probably there will be a quick unit switch in the first 30 seconds just to make sure they can push all of the Siege Towers as quickly as possible.
Yeah, exactly that, exactly that. I've seen it already as well. Like, if we were to have a bingo card, one of these bingo cards might have potentially been a reset lobby. Another one could have potentially been a team with no doctrines. And then, I mean, we'd be checking quite a few off already after first three matches. All I need now is somebody to kind of do something ridiculous. Like, there's falling off of siege towers, and obviously a siege tower falling off and dismantling below your feet, and you fall into your death, which is sad enough as it is. Then you just need to be chucked off a wall. But I don't know how many people will now rock that mall grab and want to be chucking people off walls. So I'd like to see that next if I can add that to that bingo card. I want to see be chalked off soon enough.
I would just absolutely love somebody being kicked off the walls by a Spartan kick. That would be just
Oh, I
so
forget about
beautiful.
the Spartan kick. This is Sparta! As he kicks him off, and I'd love to hear it if the player was actually to call that as he did it as well. That would be a phenomenal clip to be shared. I'd love that. Just an individual player cam where he's just got himself recorded as he's doing it because he knows he's going to do it. He's going to send that player falling to his death, inevitable. But
Yes,
like I says, it's a
I
slow start again. I think we're going to wait around for things to
yeah,
happen, the walls to go down, the breach to go down, the bridge to go down, as it had done in the first chance we see in this game. But the trebs have not been used yet, too much at least. They've only used two, and they're managing to get that wall down relatively quickly this time around. I feel like it. And siege towers are moving quicker as
yes.
well. We're already moving. We've got things moving. That's what we like to see.
Bridge is also almost destroyed, so this time around the match is starting a bit quicker than before. And once again, exactly the same start. The bridge being taken down, the bridge is almost taken down. I'm not too sure why not. The police now has to stay and take it down with the Watcher. But the bridge is still intact, so there might be the
Whoa.
possibility to push from it, which is
Yeah, I
weird.
mean, yeah, you're giving up all of that side. You gave up that
Oh no,
bridge. Oh no, it's
what?
not. It was a glitch. It was just glitched. There we go. It's back again.
Ah,
We've rebuilt it. It's like Minecraft. He just filled up these blocks and he's put them all back on down. But no, he's a. It is a bridge. It is a wee glitch. We're not seeing an invisible wall. Maybe if you could see that as a player perspective, you'd run across and all of a sudden it's just not there. You'd be like, oh no, there's not a bridge there.
that would be
That'd be
also something
unfortunate.
for a bingo card.
Yeah, that would definitely add to the bingo card as a point will be taken here free of charge, and Hero Focus will have 10
The
minutes
trap.
to try and take towards B as the treb comes over. Yeah, like you
Oh
says, over
my
towards
goodness.
that supply point side, but a couple units maybe hit, but nothing major. Um, but we see the defense. I've used quite a bit of artillery. Oh, no, they've only used one. I'm lying. They've used one.
And you can see already all of the mortars being built on the walls. And once again, those small fences in the middle of the map on the sea point, you can see them being destroyed. And that's what I mentioned before. You can now completely walk over them. They are not blocking anything. And with that, you have a bit more freedom of your movement there. First Dual Blade on the sea point now, capturing the first second of it and trapping to make sure nobody's running through the gate onto the sea point. And now you can see just all of the mortar work here as we used to see it on in the CBL.
Yeah, exactly that. And now we're gonna get all of these opportunities flying in, all this artillery spam where it is crucial at this point in time, and we see every single team doing it. But you got four players that made their way down into the grounds of our matchup here in Walfort, and going to try and set up ballistas. And this will be a sneaky play if you can potentially put a ballista and just take off one quick snipe and kill a hero off of it. Very much doubt that will happen, but you just never know. We're on board. There goes the snipe shot going in. Think it hits something, but it's probably units at that point in time. But they've still kept it there and still got the opportunity because they've got plenty of heroes surrounding him. And he's just going to take loads of little pop shots every single time that resets to try and take units out or even heroes. And he hits it past that musket. He might have done some damage to that musket there because it did look like it went flying through him, but not enough to kill them. But they've had to rotate some units out because they don't want to lose them because it does take out the units quite quickly, but it takes a lot of them and there's not enough bullets to kill a whole unit. But at least it will whittle it down, as the mortars do the exact same from up top here as well. And he's used all of his shots, as you see it dismantle below him. That thing being made play wise is just constant artillery spam and opening up where they possibly can here as Hero Focus with their heroes out and about, roaming the grounds, looking for picks, taking off potential units here with that musket bombs as well. That'll instantly kill some heroes and units and stuff as well. So that's a wee bonus for them.
I absolutely love the mortar play from the attackers, taking down all the cover the defense had, leaving them with only open ground there, being bombarded by everything the attackers can think of. And like that, the units have to go to the supply to heal up, and the trap is dangerous, but it misses everything. Very lucky for the defense. Good, uh, good call there for the trap to make the units rotate away, but the mortars are still in place and dealing massive damage.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the one, like the thing about the map that I
Oh,
dislike the most is this long phase before you start making anything towards B. Because really, yes, there's a big artillery phase, and it's all about trying to make the opposition move, right? Most of the time, it's not about kills. It's not about the units. The thing is, it's trying to make them come out of these secure spots so that they can make a push themselves, right? And that's exactly what they're trying to do. But you have to be quite good with them because they're trying to bait them towards that treb. Like you see the treb coming in over on that supply point, does hit a few of them units there, but not enough to kind of wipe out a unit of full set. And neither does the mortars do that unless all your mortars are focused on that same point, and then it becomes almost like their own placed trebuchet. But it is hard and really difficult to orchestrate that to be a perfectly shot mortar from all multiple mortars on pod top to find a unit wipe as quickly as you possibly could. But that's one thing I like to see if they can do that well.
yeah, the big advantage for the defense here is the Phalanx have their shield, which allows them to tank damage once completely. So the mortars have to hit twice to at least deal any damage to the Phalanx, and then they don't one hit them. So Phalanx are quite tanky, quite a good survivability against the mortars, but still they will take some damage in the progress. And as you can see now, the push is coming in towards the supply point, and that's a full commit for the attackers. Well, the Shenji of the defense are just dealing so much damage, killing almost all of the line draws there.
Yeah, there we go. It's a good wee push here. And there you go. See, cannons being set up. A good, slow, methodical push, and that could deal a devastating damage to that defensive side of Hyperborea, though. But there is a flank trying to come in, trying to make their way around, but they've got units watching the back. Plenty of cavalry here ready to make a charge as well from the attacks, and Hero Focus are going to go two different directions with this cavalry. One through the side and one through the main front entrance, one which does do some good work, but the phalanx are still there to hold their own along with the shields. And this little unit in the back, the dagger axe is going around and getting a good flank off. They're going to win this right here, Hero Focus, unless Hyperborea can send a unit in themselves to wipe out. But it's only phalanx nearby, and I don't see a unit of cavalry making their way towards this supply point. Or if they are, they're a little bit back. And maybe decide against it as all their heroes are wiped. They're down to two heroes left alive, and this is the snowball I was talking about.
Yes, and the one thing Hyperborea can now be glad of is that the sea point is not already being captured, because Hero Focus now needs at least some time to capture the sea point, but they will make their way to the end point pretty quickly. As you can see here, the first units of cavalry are being sent in there. They are not full life, so they are just being like, they would be out even if they would not be sent in there. So just some pressure. But as you can see, Hyperborea is now going back to the sea point. They don't want to lose this point, and that might surprise Hero Focus
It's
here a bit.
carve, carve, and more carve, sending it straight through that sea point. There isn't any units there to deal with. Hopefully, they didn't waste their charge. I feel like I've just lost feed for a second. Wait and see what is happening with that. But you guys will probably still see it. There we go. I can see it now. The cavalry comes in here from Hero Focus, wipes out the players that are already on sea, manages to get over it, and that's going to be sea captured, added minutes extra, and actually, it's all right here, considering Hyperborea, the position they're in. They've not far on units lost here, really. It is still looking okay. It's just the hero focus that have been focusing the hero kills. And that's where they're potentially looking to focus more and more as they want to wipe as many of these possibly can. They're trying to find that short sword over on the top of your screen there, Stalking. It's going to take his unit towards him, but Z will get out with his life, and it's going to be Mark out with them all, potentially going to slow him down, and that's going to be more cavalry charging over the top of him as well. And if he stays alive, I'd be surprised.
That's absolutely aggressive here from the side of Hyperborea. They're sending in another unit of cavalry into all of those phalanx as well, which is nothing
Int,
you should do there in that
int,
position.
int, int is all I'm
Yes,
seeing. That's all I'm seeing.
absolutely. And now you can see the here the unit trade is almost even though we could see it before. Hyperborea was on around 1.3k units, while Hero Focus only had 1000 units. So they have lost 300 units more than Hero Focus now in the fight over the supply point and now here on the end point. So a bit weak defense from Hyperborea, I would say at least. But still, 722 more units to go through, and they are still very, very strong. I mean, a lot of phalanx and also a line roll on the side of the defense against also a lot of strong units on the side of the attack. So nothing lost here for both sides.
Yeah, well, everybody on Hyperborea have lost a life. There isn't anybody that's still sitting on zero. On the other half, though, on Hero Focus, there's a big pile of them that still haven't died yet. So that is a focus that has been working for them. Hero Focus is called Name by Nature and doing exactly that. As they're finding all the kills on the heroes and making sure they've got that added advantage. If it gets the distance to that team deathmatch that we were speaking about, which it could go that way, but with the amount of artillery they still have, Hero Focus have got still 4 trebs. Might make that break because there's one being called on that stairwell, just as we call it, and it might actually capture some of these players and teams if they can. But it takes so long to get in here as well. They're going to notice it. The hero is the one that takes the full brunt of it, and none of the units will really be lost there, thankfully. But that's not so bad for Hyperborea. They're not going to lose anything to a free trebuchet shot. But now, with Hero Focus in this position, you can see Hyperborea making the aggressive defensive push, trying to push up into the teams of Hero Focus, and this could catch them off guard
Yeah.
here and maybe be an opportunity for them.
Yeah, beautiful defensive push here, realizing that artillery is in favor of Hero Focus, so they have to push. And now, with the support of the cannons, they will hopefully get a chance to break through. But at the moment, there's just a ton of red, wiping through all of the units in blue. Cannons now starting to shoot, but maybe it's too late there. Fading's protecting the cannons, and
The cavalry charge from Strachan
the
in the
cavalry
back.
from behind.
Oh,
That
is
is
it going to
being
wipe
dealt
them?
with
Oh,
pretty
it's
quickly, but the rest is being dealt with on the side of Hyperborea. Another unit of Dagax from the defensive side is going through, but the attackers still have a lot of units. And as you can see, Hyperborea once again losing a ton of units. Hero Focus on 500 units, while Hyperborea is now on 238. And that's a bit less than on the side of Hero Focus, which will lead to probably defeat here.
Yeah, it looks that way. It is not looking good for Hyperborea's defense. They're down to 6 heroes. And they're going to come in slivers. It's one after the other, but there's another 2 wiped out.
Right
Make
there.
that 3 wiped
Lovely.
out in a row.
Yeah.
It is looking good here for Hero Focuses. Their focus has been mainly been on killing as many heroes as they possibly can, and it's looking good to finish off in style and take this win here in their first matchup in Walfort. They'll be looking to be doing the defense, but it's still not over yet. Hyperborea still have an opportunity, still have units, but with the heroes coming in one after one, feel like it just means it's one death after another falls, and that is exactly what has happened. Berserker was the next one to fall after Darcy Genkuru falls as well. It is now whittling down the heroes. As soon as one comes alive, another one is killed. And I feel like Hero Focus are going to come on top with this. Definitely a massive difference in the hero killed.
Beautiful hero play, as I said. Hero Focus from the team Hero Focus, because usually people are like, okay, we will kill the units and the heroes, but Hero Focus now, they have decided to only go for the heroes. And sometimes in this game competitive, it's a bit more because there are more units of Phalanx grouped together. The Shiny Grenades, they don't care about how many they hit, they will just deal always the same damage to everyone there.
That is definitely a hero that you want to keep on your side because he's such a great hero killer. He's such a great player of the game, and he knows how to use his units. And we'll wait and see if he's going to be able to do that and do just that. See how many kills he gets with him Senjis later on in this game as it progresses. But with this time around on the attack for Hyperborea, is there going to be a focus on these bridges and the breaches, just like what Hero Focus did? Or are they going to change things around? Because they were clearly expecting a Sally out to start with, because they've got so many phalanxes and camos out.
Yeah, we can now see the camels and phalanxes being replaced with Matelatori to make sure the towers reach the walls. And on the side of the defense, the cannons are already on the bridge, taking down the lives there. And one thing we can see once again on the top of your screen is the unit difference. We can take a look at it. We can keep an eye on it throughout the match, but you can already see Hyperborea is just bringing so many more units, 550 to 500 tier 5 units, and more than 600 tier 4 units to the almost 500 of Hero Focus. So Hero Focus will have to take a positive unit trade every single fight, otherwise they will be overwhelmed pretty quickly. And oh, look at this trap. I just absolutely love it. Never mind. Okay. Never mind.
Oh,
Ignore me.
never mind.
Ignore me.
Take it right back. That bridge is gone already.
I
I felt like that was
I
quicker
thought
than last time.
I
Or
thought
was
like
that a
those
glitch again?
heroes were defender heroes on the on the outpost, and I was like, oh my god, they just cut off 5 defender heroes, but nah, sadly not. That would have been something for our bingo card. I would have absolutely loved it. But no. Now
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
now you're
quite
just
sad.
like, "Oh, I've just got all the excitement behind it," and it was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, wait a minute." It's like somebody boiling a kettle and just flicking the switch off just before it hits that boil. You're like, "Oh, no, okay, there we go, stopped." It's like, "Wait a minute, it's almost fully boiled, 100%, not there. No, we'll stop it." Sorry, it was a fast boiler, that was anyway, for sure. It looks like we're going to get an easier opportunity here for Hyperborea to get the siege towers mounted here on that far left hand side of your screen. Well, I say far left side. It's the far left hand side of the wall, but it's the middle of our screen. But I mean, it's the far left hand side of the wall at least. And then they're going to try and get an opportunity. But our hyper hero focus going to try and pick off these players that are trying to make their way up and pushing too far up because they're sending heroes up, but the Polnax is wise to it, and he steps back a little bit to keep himself safe because you don't want to lose a life that early on either. So very well played to notice that there was multiple heroes making their way towards you.
Yeah, our Hero Focus once again playing the team name absolutely to the maximum, looking to every single hero they could potentially get. This Polex was really lucky to not push in too far, because otherwise it would have paid with its life for it.
Yeah, exactly that there. But it's going to be Hyperbody going to get once again A picked up free of charge and added once it's collected up here. We'll be back up to at least 10 minutes for the chance to take on B. And where we seen it last time round, it was the artillery phase, which I am assuming we're going to see the exact same play out here as Hyperborea. Once that zone's collected, people will have their mortars set up. And as I say that, you can see that on the mound there on that right hand side tower peak. We're going to see some mortars going down, and there's already mortars down behind them, barrels, and more to come as they will look to try and find the units over towards that supply point side. On the left hand side of your screen now, you do have hero focus with a couple of heroes looking for an opportunity here, maybe to see if they can get up there and catch them off guard here from Hyperborea, but very much unlikely is that as a Spartan hero class. What is the name given to that Spartan hero class actually? Because I just hear it as
Shield and
Spartans. But
Spear.
yeah, I
That's
can't say
the Shield and Spear. Yeah, I play it
it.
myself.
Is
I just
is
love
that
it.
the
So
English name, or is that just the name that's given in game generally?
I think it's the English name, yeah.
Yeah, okay, right. So just in case there was a different translation in your game compared to what it would be in my game, because I've not really looked at the hero yet. I've played the unit, but I've not played the hero class, which is good to see another hero class being involved. It adds differences to the mix, and I've seen how the hero play can be done, and it's quite a nice play style if you're good at focusing individual players and getting some kills and usage of that thrown spear, which could come in handy.
Absolutely. The mortars now slowly starting to force the defenders back as their own artillery was being destroyed now. And as you can see, Hero Focus not really willing to overextend anything. We've seen Hyperborea defend all the way in the front, while Hero Focus now also willing to defend supply point, but all the units are just way in the back and will rotate to the front whenever the push is coming in. The Ciladas, not too lucky with the placements, not too focused on the traps, will be a hit here. And oh my god, the mortars will just finish it off for some of them, but they are lucky enough to at least survive. Most of them.
Yeah, there we go. Hero Focus are trying to push out a little bit because they seen the Hyperborea boys run out in front of their face. Oh, mostly heroes baited some of the units down that stairwell, and it made Hyperfocus kind of get a little bit of focus and make their way through to see if they can challenge Hyperborea, but they would also try and open them up. And I think that's what Hyperborea were trying to do, bait them out a little bit more so that the use of that treb and the use of these mortars can take more effect as one mortar does land into that unit just behind. There's a couple of shots coming off there as well, and they've guided them together, which is good to see. And that's exactly what I want to see when you have multiple mortars, all of them trying to target that one spot rather than just focusing on individual planes. Once you get a hit on a unit, call that out. Make your other teammate try and focus that as well and get multiples. But Hero Focus is sending tons of their units now over towards the supply point because they noticed the Hyperborea have made their way down the stairwell and now they're going to meet here and fight it out. Who's going to come out on top in our first phase?
Yeah, it seems like Hyperborea is once again going for the bait, but Hero Focus
Oh,
is
score.
not letting that happen. They are just immediately going in, and that will be a big fight here. Hero Focus now full in. Shenji are throwing the grenades in, which is amazing in this fight, and that might be the end of the push of Hyperborea as they are being
Wow.
taken down by the cavalry and everything else. And I would just expect the Shenji to have killed so much in there. The damage numbers have to be crazy for Instinct Kagan, but the Shield and Spear is now taking care of those Shenji, and but he has been taking care of himself. And I think a
Nice.
big part here was the Lion Roars when not able to place the cannons in the right time. And with that, the Shenji were able to throw the grenades, while the Lions were not able to respond in any meaning. And it's only 5 minutes 20 left, so not
Yeah,
too
a lot of
much
time
time there
wasted.
to reset.
A lot of time
One
wasted.
unit.
No, they've not managed
Sorry.
to get the B, which has surprised me as well. Like, because
Oh, that's true.
that breach is still there. They've not went and got that extra time, so they could do that at some point. But Hyperborea full focus and got themselves caught out. I feel like they were a way to bait them, but they were too slow in movement. Hyper focus, hero focus. Sorry, going to be a mix both the team names now. Hero focus noticed it that it was slow moving, and they can go and counter capitalize, and they did that, just that, and they've got that advantage now in terms of numbers, at least on the top of
Oh
your screen
my
for
god.
lives. But that's
Look at the
coming in.
calf.
It's loads. It's pretty much a full 15 of Cav coming in. It is that, and they're going to try and do
Oh
some
my
fancy
goodness.
flag. Is it going to work
And
out for
that's
them?
just straight going to the C point. That's just a full C point push, trying to get that one as quickly as possible. But no, they're not even trying to catch it. They're just running over the point and doing not too much. Cavalry now from the defense approaching their own, and the
Defensive Cav is
cavalry.
great. I
No
think
response to that. That's
I feel
just
like Hyperborea have
GG's. Oh
thrown this.
my god.
They have thrown it, right? This is just a total in with your Cav, and you've just totally lost the battle so quickly from what they thought was going to be a great play. They didn't even capture B. They've given themselves very little time, and they've decided, I'm just going to full send this in with a full set of cavalry, and we're going to see what we can do here. But they're managing to whittle the numbers down a little bit. But in terms of heroes, it is level almost, and units are getting trades at least. But I don't think Hyperborea's got another strong push out of them really with the time that's got left. Because it's going to be mostly artillery, right?
Yeah.
Infantry. Sorry.
Yes, absolutely. And Hyperborea, we have seen in the beginning, they had 250 units advantage in the beginning and are now down more than 100 units, so they have lost there once again so many more units. And as you can see it, Hyperborea also with 130 units on tier 1 and tier 2. And that's just such a big disadvantage. I don't think we'll see Hyperborea come back from that. B point is
Heroes as
still an
well are down
option,
to
but
5 just now. I mean, how many kills and deaths have they had as well? Because it looks like Hyperbore could be running out of life soon enough as well, because there's a few players sitting there on 2, still in a respawn state, but it is slow and it's trickling back in. A few players one more life away from sheer death and not coming back in this battle. Whether it matters or not, with Hero Focus playing the way that they're playing, they're really setting their ways here to find this win and get the win on the attack and a defense and win a 2-0 in the series. And it's looking good so far with 2 minutes left to do. I'm surprised still that Hyperborea have forgot all about B.
yeah, and one thing Hyperborea has also forgotten about is the artillery. They've only placed 14 pieces, which is just two
They've only used
less.
5 trebs as well.
Oh my god.
What are they thinking?
Yeah, that's just way too less. And now they're going full in into this fight. The cavalry will not
Oh, the
get
flank
far
from the
through, but the
back as well
flank.
through the breach. That's done.
Oh my
It's done.
god, it's just all falling apart for the side of Hyperborea. They're just getting flanked, wiped, and everything. And the next unit coming in from the back being dealt with by the camels. But that's just only 1 minute and 45 left, 300 units left, and the units are just ticking down more and more.
Yeah, well, it looks like it is pretty much all but over. I mean, there is Halo Lives getting traded back and forward, right? We're seeing 5 versus 9. There's going to be very little coming back here from Hyperborea, because a lot of their members will probably be wiped after that one, because that was a good 10 hero kills, which I assume some of them are completely out of the match. You've got Delays, Corridor doing it, Autohawk, the captain as well, Jakuru, Slay, all out of the battle and would not come back into it. Even Legion Ward and even more. Yeah, it's done. 1 minute. That was a play. They're going to force towards C, but Hero Focus have got units. They've still got plenty of hero lives. But am I going to see a surprise in my hands? Am I going to get this caster curse? Are we going to see a reverse of this? I very much doubt it, but I hope not, because otherwise it'd be, well, in a way it would be actually surprising if it happened, and it would be amazing. But also at the same time, I would expect it to be turned around as it hasn't, and players are leaving the battle with time left on the clock, which means it is definitely a Hero Focus taking the win. It's going to be 2-0 in the series, and they'll get full compliments here, and they'll be happy with that start here in CBL 2025.
Yes, and once again, the hero focus is just real in this team. They have probably taken down more than 40 heroes, maybe working on their last hero now in the Polex that's running away from them. But I'm kind of curious to see the numbers in the analyze, in the post-battle analyze, because those will be interesting for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Analysis isn't going to look good in favor of Hyperborea, that's for sure. That's going to be a massive peak in that death count. And even for that heroes, it was just absolute traumatizing to watch if you're on the spectator side and you're looking for a win for Hyperborea. It wasn't to come.